So you're thinking about moving to Woodinville, Washington, but you have no idea where the perfect place to live is? Well, in this video, I'm going to be discussing everything you need to know about Woodinville. In fact, what I'm going to do is we're going to jump into Google Maps. I'm going to pull it up. I want to show you all the areas, all the shops, the restaurants, the wineries, all the neighborhoods, you name it. In fact, there are a few really cool spots in Woodinville that I think just looking at them on a map will not do them justice. So we're going to jump in the car. I'm going to give you a little bit more of an up-close look at these places, just to give you an idea of what it's like to live, what it's like to hang out in Woodinville. By the end of this video, you're going to be able to find a few spots that you might enjoy living in, but more importantly, there might be some spots that you hate to live in Woodinville. So if you want to hang out for a few minutes, learn a ton about living in Woodinville, and go check out some cool spots, then let's get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything about living, working, playing, eating in the city of Seattle, Washington, and surrounding areas like Woodinville, then subscribe down below, tap that bell for notifications so you could be the first to learn about the current market here in Seattle. My name is David Sappenfield. The team and I, we get calls, texts, and emails every day from people just like you looking for help to make their move here to Seattle. So whether you're moving next week or next year, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, schedule a Zoom call. All of our contact information is in the description down below. We're happy to help you make that smooth move to Seattle. So, as I mentioned, we are going to be discussing everything that you need to know about Woodinville, Washington. We're going to jump into the Google Maps. To start off, we're going to talk about commute times, how long it's going to take you to get into downtown Seattle, how long it'll take you to get into downtown Bellevue, airports, SeaTac, Payne Field. And then, we'll take you through the different areas of Woodinville, show you some of the cool shops, restaurants, wineries that you don't want to miss. And then we'll wrap it up with a neighborhood tour of all the neighborhoods here in Woodinville. So let's get started. All right, so got the Google map pulled up, zoomed out here. You can see Woodinville in the red dots here. We got the Woodinville city limits bordered right here, but I wanted to show you where Woodinville is in proximity to downtown Seattle. So we are about 20 miles northeast of downtown Seattle. So here we have Woodinville right here, downtown Seattle right here. So not too far away, but of the neighboring suburbs, Woodinville is probably on the further end of, being on the convenience factor, I guess, about getting into Seattle. Not as easy as like Bellevue, even Kirkland. You have a little bit of a further drive. So let me pull up some commute times for you into downtown Seattle. If you're working down there, you're definitely going to be curious about that. So let me get that pulled up here. All right, so it's looking right now, not a lot of traffic. So we're showing 28 minutes to get downtown Seattle. This is going over the 520 bridge, which is that toll bridge. You probably wouldn't want to go that way today unless you're in a super big hurry. You probably want to go I-90, which is taking you about the same amount of time, and you're avoiding the tolls. So definitely the way to go. Different option. It's not pulling up as even an option right now. But during heavier traffic times, sometimes it's not a bad idea to get into downtown Seattle if you head north up 405, then head south down I-5, and then drop into Seattle that way. Right now, with no traffic, that route would probably take you 35 minutes, so a little bit longer, but might not be a bad option if traffic is a little bit heavier. So a couple different ways to get into downtown Seattle there. Maybe you're working in Bellevue. Let's pull up some commute times for that. Definitely more convenient if you work on the east side here, but let me just show you what it would take to get into Bellevue. So right now we're looking 22 minutes, and that's just a straight shot down 405. Really convenient, with this section of 405, you also have the option to ride in the toll lanes, the high occupancy vehicle lanes. If you're by yourself, you pay a toll, but if you're carpooling, you can ride in those with no cost. And that would turn that into probably about a 15-minute commute to get into downtown Bellevue. So really convenient, super easy, straight shot, north and south, getting to and from Woodinville. Maybe you work in Redmond. Maybe you're, at Microsoft. Let's pull up Redmond here. Here we go. So this is just directions down into town center, but Microsoft is going to be up here. So you're probably going to add another 5 minutes to that commute, which, this probably wouldn't be the way to go heading down 202 here. You'd probably just want to go out to 405, this route, 405 down to 85th in Kirkland, and then you would take 85th. Get into Microsoft that way, going up 140th. So that would probably be your best route. Take you probably 15-20 minutes to get into the technology hub there in Redmond. So super convenient for east side employment, traveling to and from Woodinville. So definitely recommend Woodinville for that. Let's clear this out. Maybe you travel a lot for work and you're going to the airport a lot. Let's pull up some commute times for SeaTac. A little bit further than, again, the other suburbs. So you're up there a little bit. We're looking at 36 minutes right now. Looks like there are some sticky traffic areas in Bellevue. Like I said, if you saw the Bellevue videos, 405 bottlenecks down to 3 lanes in Bellevue. And look it's a Saturday afternoon right now, and you got rush hour traffic right there. So it's just the way it is. And, Bellevue to Renton, there's just always traffic, and that's what we're seeing right now. So 36 minutes to get down to the airport. If it's 5 p.m. on a weekday, you could probably add another 30 minutes to that commute time. So, not the most convenient location for airport travel if you're doing that a lot, unless you're flying out of Painfield. Let's pull that up. Painfield is up north in Everett. Here we go. Looking around a 23-minute drive up north. Looks like there's probably an accident on 405 here, so that's slowing things down. Usually that's going to be about a 20-minute drive. So just a little bit of traffic going on right now. So that's really a more convenient airport to fly out of, but they only serve 8 West Coast destinations. So if you're needing to travel somewhere else, obviously you're going to have to fly out of SeaTac, the international airport, but Painfield is a pretty convenient option if you're flying to one of those West Coast cities. All right, let's talk about stuff to do in Woodinville, places to hang out, stores to go to, restaurants to check out. Let's just start right here in the middle of Woodinville, right downtown. So if you saw the Woodinville vlog tour video that we did, here is where we started, right here in this schoolhouse district, and that's right here, okay? You have the Woodinville ball fields for, if you have kids that play soccer, baseball, lacrosse, you're going to be spending a lot of time here at these fields. There's this new development right here, which has a lot of tasting rooms, a couple really good restaurants. But yeah, this development is brand new. It's called the Schoolhouse District. A lot of apartment living options too, if that's what you're looking for in a convenient location. Lots of options there. If you head a little bit east of that, that's where the second part of that vlog video went, was in the Wooden Creek Village, which is right here. And And you can check out that video. I walk around the whole area, show you the restaurants, but a couple really, really good restaurants. You have Wooden Creek Kitchen and Tap, Rusty Pelican, which is my favorite breakfast spot in the entire world. It's incredible. Love that place. And then a couple different wineries, like wine tasting rooms. There's a wine alley that has 6 or 7 tasting rooms right there. So a newer part of town, more apartment living options here in Wooden Creek. There's a ton of apartments. So between Wooden Creek and the Schoolhouse District, you're going to have just plentiful apartment living options. And there's also a new development going in that is right across the street. Let me pull this up here. Let me go back. But right here in this section, this all is has been demolished. There's just a big pile of dirt there right now, but it's all fenced off. They're going to be building something similar to what's here at the Schoolhouse District and over at the Wooden Creek Village. There's going to be more apartment living, retail on the bottom. I'm sure there's probably going to be more like tasting rooms, more food options going in, but just a rapidly developing part of town that it's a really cool place to hang out. You know, lots of places to just walk around, eat good food, taste some good wine. It's a really fun part of town. And if we head a little bit further east here, we bump into Molbach's. Molbach's is a kind of a garden and home store, like a nursery, but has a lot of home decor. Just really kind of an experience to go see Molbach's. If you're in Woodinville, definitely worth stopping and checking out because, you know, during the holidays, they have displays set up. Just a really cool spot. And they usually have events that go on during the holidays and just kind of a Woodinville staple. And Molbach's you have to check out if you're in Woodinville because it's a really cool store. If we look just north of that, this is our main shopping center in Woodinville. Now, if there's one con to Woodinville that I cannot stand and that a lot of the people that live in Woodinville have a hard time with is that there's just a lack of grocery store options. You have a Hagen right here, and that is pretty much your only option down in this section of Woodinville. There's one more option, but that's way up in Cottage Lake, and there's a Safeway. When we get into that Cottage Lake section, you know, I'll point that out and show you where it is. But, you know, if you live down in this area, you know, it's just not convenient to head all the way up there if you want to go shop at that Safeway. And the Wooden Creek is, the Hagen down here is, you know, you pay a premium to shop there. It's more comparable, I guess you could say, to like a Whole Foods option, but really nice store. You're paying a premium to shop there. So, but great little section here. Lots to do. Lots of stores. Barnes and Noble right here. There's a Red Robin right here. It's kind of a burger spot. Great for the family. There's a theater right here, AMC Woodinville 12. A little bit older, you know, not quite as modern as some of the theaters today, but great convenient spot. There's a Target right here. Definitely, you know, any respectable town has got to have a Target, right? So here's where Target is located. But you know what? I think this is probably a good part of town. Let's jump in the car. I want to show you around this area. I'll show some of the shops, you know, other little restaurants, stuff that you should pay attention to and know about in that, you know, central downtown area. So let's jump in the car and go check that out now. All right, so here we are. We are right downtown, smack dab in the middle of downtown Woodinville. This is the main shopping center for all of Woodinville. There's a couple others randomly scattered throughout, but this is sort of your main shopping area that if you live in Woodinville, you're probably going to be spending a fair amount of time here. Now we have Hagen, the grocery store, right behind me. Probably tough to see with the sun, but that's the main shopping store. Really nice store. Love that store, but it is expensive, so you pay a lot to shop there. But there's the Hagen right there, nice huge store. There's a PetSmart right over my shoulder here. We have PetSmart. There's Barnes and Noble back there in the corner. A couple other little random stores like a mattress store, and there's a party store like Party City. You can go and get all your party supplies at. There's a Red Robin, which is directly behind me that way, and that's always a family-friendly, you know, kind of a hamburger hangout spot that has, you know, decent food. Lots of Red Robins in the Seattle area. And then across the street from Red Robin, there's a Target, which has a couple other small little stores in there. There's a Crumble cookie. Those are really good cookies. If you haven't tried those, I would definitely recommend checking those out. And then across the way over here, there is Mod Pizza. Mod Pizza, it's a kind of make-to-order pizza place. Love it. There's Qdoba right next to it. Cold Stone, of course, you got to get your ice cream fix. That's all in there in that little strip mall. Then we have AMC, the movie theater. This movie theater is kind of dated a little bit. It could use some updates, but you know, not bad spot to go check out a matinee or, you know, go spend some time and watch a movie. So pretty much everything you're gonna need. And then if we look, let me walk over this way a little bit, might get a better angle at it. But if you look over here, there's a couple more restaurants. There's Big Fish Grill, good little seafood spot. There's a Panera Bread. There's Jimmy John's, a little Mongolian grill over that way. But the main shopping center is right here where we're at. So like I said, if you're living in Woodinville, chances are you're gonna be spending a fair amount of time in this little area right here.
Okay, if we head a couple blocks east down the road from Hagen, there are another couple more strip mall shopping areas right here. There's a Planet Fitness, there's a Rite Aid, a TJ Maxx, a couple restaurants here. You have a cool little Italian restaurant. There's a Mexican restaurant right here that's decent. But yeah, lots more shopping right here. If you like Chinese food, this is probably your go-to Chinese food spot in Woodinville. It's called Chan's Place. Really good. I think this is like the only Chinese food restaurant in Woodinville, but it's really good. We enjoy it. Really cool decor inside, and just a really, really good food. We love it there. There's a Tipsy Cow. You've probably heard me talk about Tipsy Cow before. Love Tipsy Cow. Great burgers. Then across the way here, we have another strip mall, and bunch of stores, you know, lots of different options. There's actually a Dozone going in right here that's not open yet, which we're anxiously awaiting them opening. You know, if you like the dumplings and you know, Asian cuisine, there's a Dozone going in right there. So really excited about that. Can't wait. But yeah, this is the kind of the main shopping areas in the downtown Woodinville area.
So what Woodinville is probably most known for are the number of wineries and tasting rooms located within Woodinville. There's actually over 130 different wineries located right in the heart of Woodinville. Kind of, well, not in just the heart, all spread out through Woodinville actually. They're spread out amongst 4 different districts that all have their own unique characteristics, kind of spread out through the city of Woodinville. I just want to take a few minutes and just show you each individual wine district and kind of show you what they're all about, where they're located, and yeah, just kind of point those out to you. So if we start at the northernmost section of Woodinville here, we have the Warehouse Wine District, and that kind of runs pretty much in this area is where you're going to find them. Just a highly concentrated area of wineries. Actually, it's the most highest concentrated area of wineries in the world, believe it or not. This, a lot of boutique wineries. There are more boutique wineries per square foot in Woodinville than any wine region in the world. So pretty crazy if you think about it like that. You know, anywhere in the world, like more than Napa Valley, you know, anything, Italy, it's just a whole lot of wineries, just lots of cool different spots. You know, if you have unique tastes of wines, you know, that you're gonna find something you like somewhere in Woodinville because you have so many choices. But this warehouse district is kind of less glamorous, I guess, than the other districts, you know, that have kind of more beautiful scenery, surroundings. Warehouse district, just kind of gritty. You know, it's a bunch of warehouses just kind of lined up. The really cool thing about it is just that high concentration of them. They're all within walking distance of each other. In fact, what I want to do is let's jump in the car. Let's drive up to the warehouse district real quick, and I will show you a couple of cool spots up there. Okay, here we are in the warehouse district of Woodinville, and what we see right here is what you'd kind of expect, you know, just a bunch of warehouses, a bunch of wineries, a bunch of tasting rooms. There's actually 55 in this general vicinity. Lots of tasting rooms. It's kind of nice because you can just park. There's like a parking lot right here, but there's no shortage of parking in this district of Woodinville. You can walk to each tasting room very easily. It's you know, they're all just kind of right next to each other. Most of the rooms are down here over my shoulder, but you know, there's not a whole lot to see. It's just warehouses kind of lined up one by one. You have tasting rooms right next to each other. They each have kind of their own unique characteristics and personality. So it's a lot of fun just kind of going to each one, finding out which wines you like, which ones you don't like, and you know, you definitely get your favorite tasting rooms. But across the street over here, there's a couple breweries, more wineries, of course. But yeah, just a really cool part of town. In here, this is kind of a little, not really like the warehouse section. You know, this is kind of more of like a strip mall feel. But more tasting rooms right here. There's a cider, Locust Cider Company right there. That really good ciders if that's your thing. There's a Shake and Go is what this place is called. Shake and Go, really good burgers, really good shakes, of course, but a good lunch spot, great place to go, grab some food between tastings. But yeah, this is a really fun part of town. You know, tourist district is definitely where most people kind of gravitate towards when they're visiting Woodinville, but lots of cool places here in the warehouse district as well. So don't forget to come check this place out. Okay, so that was the warehouse district. A whole lot of cool spots up there. Very high concentration of tasting rooms in that warehouse section. If we head a little bit further south, we get to the downtown district. And if you saw the Woodinville vlog that we did, that's where we started out. So right here in this schoolhouse district, right in the edge of downtown, a bunch of new tasting rooms right here in this section. This is actually called Wine Walk Row. Tasting rooms just line this whole walkway right here. Apartment living up above, so lots of options there for rentals in that part of town. If we slide a little bit to the east, we get into the Wooden Creek Village, part of the downtown district, and there's a ton of tasting rooms in there as well. Actually visited that in the vlog, so you can see some walk and talk in that area as well. But just to kind of show you, a whole lot of newer, this is a newer development, apartment living up top, and then basically just tasting rooms, wineries, restaurants. Got a Zeke's Pizza right here. But just a really cool part of town because, you know, newer, fancy, nice tasting rooms, great restaurants, you know, pretty much these are like the newest of tasting rooms in the Woodinville areas that are in that downtown district there. So if we scroll out a little bit, then, you know, here's the downtown area. Then we have the West Valley District, which is right here in this area. There aren't too many wineries in this section. I feel like this is kind of the newcomer on the scene for Woodinville wine country, the districts. I think there's only a handful of wineries in here. I think there's like 5 or 6, but there's also a distillery, like Woodinville Whiskey. Still cool part of town. They're a little bit more spread out, but you know, you can take some time and more time in each one of those in that West Valley district. But yeah, you're not going to see too many tasting rooms yet. You know, I'm sure there's definitely more to come in that area. But that brings us down to probably our most popular district, and ones that, you know, you'll read about, hear about, see pictures of, and that is the Hollywood district, or the tourist district of Woodinville here. A whole lot of really cool tasting rooms, lots of restaurants. Let me just kind of pop in the street view here. But just, yeah, Hollywood Schoolhouse here, restaurants lined all through both sides of the street. And you know what, let's jump in the car, head down. I want to show you some spots here in the tourist district that you don't want to miss. Okay, here we go. We are in probably the most popular of Woodinville's wine districts, and that is the Hollywood district, or some might call it the tourist district. But we're right in the middle here at this roundabout where everything sort of just comes together, and there's a ton of wineries, as you would imagine, all really concentrated in this small area. Parking sometimes can be a pain to find because it's so limited, but once you do find parking, it's nice because everything's within walking distance. You can just kind of go and taste, check out the different restaurants, all really, really close in walking distance in this area. There's actually a new development coming that will be opening up in 2024, which is like a mixed use development. There's gonna be luxury townhomes, there's gonna be a luxury hotel and spa, and more restaurants, more tasting rooms, I'm sure. That's right over my shoulder behind me there, and that's called the Harvest Woodinville, which again, opening in 2024. That's gonna be exciting, can't wait for that. Hopefully they're gonna put more parking. I'm pretty sure they got more parking garages going in, so that's gonna alleviate a lot of the parking issues in this Hollywood district. But just kind of showing you some of the more popular spots here. Behind me, you'll see the Hollywood Schoolhouse. There's Alexandria Nicole Winery, that's a really popular one. There's Mary Hill, that's right there. Directly behind me here is, there's Gorman Winery, Patterson Cellars, really two popular, really good wines. There's Vivi, which is an Italian restaurant. Super good food, love their pizza. Pasta is great. And then, probably can't really see it from over here, but there's a Mexican restaurant called Pablo y Pablo. That's just behind me. There's a Purple Wine Bar, multiple other tasting rooms in this section directly behind me. And then over here in this area, there's Heritage, which is a really good restaurant. And of course, more tasting rooms that are lining that whole section right there. But if you look down further this way, which you probably can't see, but Chateau Ste. Michelle, probably one of the most popular wineries in all of Woodinville. That's just right down the street there. There's Willow's Lodge, which is kind of the only hotel in this section right now, but really nice luxury hotel, spa. So it's gonna be, you know, having to face the competition that the Harvest is gonna be putting in here in a year, but that's kind of the go-to place right now for a nice place to stay in Woodinville. But there's DeLille Cellars, which is right next to Willow's. That's a really, really nice new tasting room, rooftop deck, really cool place. So I definitely would recommend checking that out. But yeah, this is the Hollywood district, the most popular of all the districts in Woodinville, and definitely come check it out if you're in town. Okay, so that was a quick rundown of Woodinville wine country, the 4 different districts and their kind of own unique personality and character. And now let's talk about the neighborhoods in Woodinville. So we have lots of different neighborhoods to choose from that each kind of have their own benefit of living there. So we'll start here on the north end, and this neighborhood right here that's kind of tucked in between, this is Bothell right here, and then you have 522 that runs down. This neighborhood is called The Wedge, and all residential, you know, single family homes, no condos, anything like that, but really great location for commuting. You can get onto 522, 405 in like 30 seconds. It's great. That's actually where I live, and it is fantastic just because I can get anywhere on the east side, usually within about 15 minutes, even with bad traffic. It's pretty amazing. I love living there. You also have Woodinville High School, which is right here. Let me just kind of zoom in a little bit, but Woodinville High School is, the only public high school in Woodinville, but very, very highly rated. It's a 9 out of 10 on greatschools.org. Really kind of a storied sports program, football, and it's a great high school. And that's right up there in that neighborhood called the Wedge. Let me back out a little bit here. Okay, so if we move a little bit further to the east of that, so this is that warehouse district that we were talking about. No homes in there, just all commercial, wineries, other, industrial commercial buildings there. But if we move to the east of that, we have the Wellington neighborhood. We have East Wellington, and then we have West Wellington. And they're divided by 156th Avenue right here. But really nice neighborhoods, single family homes, not really any condos to speak of up there, but a little more elbow room to spread out, bigger lots for your home. But yeah, really, really nice neighborhood in Woodinville here. Clear that out. And then of course we have the downtown area. This is all right here, kind of town center, condo living, basically, mostly apartments. So lots of new apartments in this neighborhood or in this downtown town center section, but there are a few different condos as well within that downtown area. So super convenient for, just walking into town and being so close to everything. But if we move a little bit further this way, we have what's called Northwest Gateway. Lots of more condos right here. There's some homes up here on the hill, but this is kind of the hill that goes up and runs into Kirkland right here. But this is just kind of a small neighborhood called Northwest Gateway. And then if we slide down a little bit further here, we have the Upper West Ridge and Lower West Ridge. So lots of single family homes right here. And again, we're right on the Kirkland Woodinville border right here. So really convenient location though for commuting. Again, you're super close to highway access and, mostly single family homes in these neighborhoods. And that's another great neighborhood. But if we slide up here and just go east of downtown, so we have Woodinville Heights, which kind of runs right around here in this area. This is Woodinville Heights. And then we have Rainwood Leota, which is right over here. This is Lake Leota right here. But single family homes throughout here, not really any condos or anything like that. But these are great neighborhoods because you are so close to downtown, so close to the Hollywood district, close to the warehouse district. You're just right there in the middle of everything. So really popular neighborhoods right there. And then Woodinville is actually, kind of like other cities that you'll notice is, there's unincorporated parts of these cities that aren't within their city limits, okay? And Woodinville is the same way here. So there's actually, this Hollywood Hill neighborhood, which kind of runs down this way. And lots of really, really nice homes in Hollywood Hill. You'll see a lot of like equestrian, acreage properties in Hollywood Hill. And that's just situated just up the hill from that tourist district, but super, super nice part of Woodinville. Larger homes, larger lots, and just kind of tucked away in that unincorporated section of King County. And there's another, which is probably the biggest section of Woodinville, which is that unincorporated King County area that I was talking about. But this is the Cottage Lake neighborhood. And Cottage Lake kind of runs all the way down here to the Snohomish Valley Road and then up that way. But a huge part of Woodinville. And there's kind of like Hollywood Hill, equestrian properties,
acreage, just really large estate type homes in this Cottage Lake area of Woodinville. The only downside I think of Cottage Lake is you're a little bit further away from highway access to restaurants and everything that, you know, downtown where you would need to go on a regular basis. But, you know, if you don't mind driving 10-15 minutes to get into town to that kind of thing, then you'll be just fine. But there is one shopping center in this area, and I'll show you where that is. Right here, you know, there's a Safeway, a Walgreens. I know they're building a gas station here right now, but that is it when it comes to where you can go for shopping in Cottage Lake. And you'll just see Cottage Lake is a huge area, and this is your only shopping center. If you don't go here, you got to go down into downtown Woodinville over here. So not very convenient. And earlier in the video, I was talking about, you know, just the lack of grocery stores in Woodinville. You know, this will just show you kind of how far apart they are. You know, you have the Hagen right here, which is that expensive higher end store. It's great. I love Hagen, but you do pay a premium. And if you don't want to go there, then you have to go all the way up to Safeway over here in Cottage Lake, which is not very convenient, especially if you live over here. So just something to keep in mind. You know, you might like that about Woodinville, or you might hate that about Woodinville. I don't know. But this Cottage Lake neighborhood is really nice, super spread out, lots of room up there. But there's also Cottage Lake, the actual lake here. And there is a park right on the lake that has lots of activities to do during the summertime. And you know what? Let's jump in the car, go up to Cottage Lake Park, and I just want to show you a few of the spots up there. All right, here we are at Cottage Lake Park. Popular destination for Woodinville residents, you know, especially in summertime, those warm months. We're right on the lake here. There's a nice big dock. You can fish from it, you can swim. Great place to hang out. You see this big grassy area behind me. You can throw the football around, play catch, have a picnic. So lots of things that you're able to do here at the park. You see there's a really big playground. So, you know, something for the kiddos to do, get them tired and tuckered out. And there's a picnic shelter here. They have barbecue set up. You can come have a barbecue, hang out for the day. Just a great spot. There's even basketball courts. There's, you know, I think it's a full court basketball court back there. A ropes course, which you don't see very often, but you know, if you're afraid of heights, you probably don't want to do that. But yeah, that's back there. Not sure how well that's coming through, but you know, you can probably see the tail end of the ropes course behind me. But there's even a pool here at Cottage Lake Park. So really cool area. Like I said, popular destination, especially in those summer months. Parking can kind of be tough. The parking lot is right behind me, so spots are limited. So you can imagine on those warm summer days, if you don't get here in time, you're probably going to be parking out on the street. So, but great location, definitely worth checking out while you're in Woodinville. And you know, if you're thinking about making a move to Woodinville or any of the other surrounding areas in Seattle, we'd love to hear from you. Love to have that conversation with you, maybe help you figure out which area is going to be perfect for you so you make that right decision the first time. And you know, whether you're moving next week or next year, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, schedule a Zoom call. All of our contact info is in the description down below. Happy to help you make that smooth move to Seattle. And until next time, hope to show you around town. Take care. Bye.